Hello, and welcome to this T-Level Tactics video for the T-Level Digital Support Services course. We're looking at digitalization motivation as a part of Root Core 1 business context, and you're going to want to make sure you're signed up to the Patreon for this one. Here's what we're taking a look at. First of all, we're going to analyze the motivations behind a business's move towards digitalization before producing a digitalization proposal for a business. Bit of a shorter video for this one, and that's simply because for those of you signed up to the Patreon, there's a large task at the end that will take quite a bit of time for you to complete. So before we get started, a disclaimer as always, these videos are not endorsed or sponsored by any education, institution, or qualification awarding body. And T-Level Tactics videos should not be used as a replacement to any classroom learning you might be receiving, as the discussion and practical activities with your peers and lecturer will help to expand your thinking and comprehension. Instead, these materials are best used as preparation material or revision to reinforce your learning. And if you're studying the T-Level Digital Business Services course, this content works for you as well. However, it is going to have more of a spin towards IT support roles. All right, let's get started. So we've already looked at the value that can be created by digitalization. But digitalization in an organization requires change, quite significant change, and it often requires quite significant investment of funds in order to do that. And it's not just about money, there's also the people element. And people, they don't really like change that much. So how do we convince businesses of the benefits of digitalization? That's what we're going to work through. Let's think of virtualization and the cloud. It was an emerging technology, but now quite commonplace amongst organizations. We can look at server virtualization, which means that we'll have less physical hardware on site. In theory, we could move our servers all to the cloud, which should make it cheaper, and we can have multiple dedicated servers running on the same hardware. If we do move it to the cloud, that means we can move it off-site. We can reduce our risk involved. We could also look at thin client solutions, which are essentially low-power computers that provide an internet connection to a remote desktop environment, meaning that staff can access required software from anywhere potentially, even if they need to work from home. And this can allow for cheaper desktop solutions while still providing the required performance for what you need. And both of these solutions, and many other cloud solutions, are scalable and elastic, which means that we can nearly instantly expand when we need that extra capacity, and when we don't, we can reduce it down to save money when needed. Let's look at some other digital innovations. In terms of business intelligence and insight, we can collect data through market research and customer tracking. We've mentioned that a little bit in the last video. We can look at social media engagement with our advertisements. We can create some new unique selling points for our business. And businesses that adopt digital technologies early can stand out against their competition. You can offer a product that others don't have. For instance, you could be making use of augmented reality or virtual reality tools, or start embracing AI. We can look at industry processes and business models, for example, digital manufacturing. 3D printing has become more affordable and more accessible to businesses, meaning that rapid prototyping is easier than ever. Combining this with more advanced CAD/CAM software means that we can simulate products in software, and we can combine it with VR and AR technologies for a more immersive product development stage before we send anything off for final production. In terms of finance, we have more automated reporting. Now with emerging AI technologies, we can get assessments of those reports. And electronic transactions and payroll are making the movement of money much faster and quicker than ever before. In terms of research, we can make use of online research and data analytics companies. And we can use them to look at social media analytics so we can better target our audience. What about access? Well, our customer base, we can now have a global reach to new potential customers who can be accessing our business 24/7 through our e-commerce or online platforms. Now, a range of products and services can change slightly to adapt to this. We can have more digital delivery, for instance in software, streaming of music and videos, ebooks. They've all focused more on digital delivery in the past few years than they have in physical products. So we can think through, what do we offer and what products could be offered in a digital or online variant. We can better contextualize customer behavior. We can introduce some digital personalization. We've looked at this briefly before. We can track users' habits, we can look at their purchase history, and form a profile of them in order to make recommendations. Now, this could be simply to target advertising of specific products to them, but it could also be that we want to highlight any offers on products they regularly purchase. And we can use lots of data to do this. It's slightly scary. We can track things like age, gender, ethnicity, location, income, lifestyle, and we can do all this just from what they purchase and search for, not necessarily from information that they explicitly give to us. And we need to look at platform interoperability as well. We can target users based on the platform they're accessing our business. So for instance, whether it's an iOS device, Android device, Windows, or Mac device. And there's some interesting differences there. For instance, if you're an iOS user, you might be willing to spend a little bit more money on a fashionable or trendy product than someone who uses an Android device. It's interesting, that kind of study. Alternatively, we could just target everybody, regardless of platform. There are also some open standards with technology as well. And this is quite interesting. For instance, the European Union 2014 EIDAS regulation. And this is essentially a mandated standard for a digital identity. And what this allows is for customers to transfer data easily from business to business without hassle. Now, a good example of this is, for instance, changing your energy or broadband provider, or switching your bank account, which is a really easy process. It's also allowed for banking apps, for example, for you to connect multiple different bank accounts from different banks to the same app. Now, these data formats are standardized across industry, enabling customer movement to or from your business easier than ever. And with all of this, we can create some brand differentiation. We can really make our product or service distinct from our competitors. We can create a truly unique identity online and in media across social media platforms towards different target audiences. And we can create a bespoke experience for consumers based on market data and their digital profiles. Customers now, more than ever, are valuing the experience of your brand just as much as the end product. So, let's try some quick-fire questions. If you're a Patreon member, then on the task sheet that you've got from the Patreon page, have a look at the questions on there and answer them as quickly as possible. Try not to do much internet research, just do it from your head. But if after 10 minutes you're thinking, I could probably do a bit more there, feel free to go away and do some research. 10 minutes, have a go, then come back here and we'll move on to the next section. Okay, so this is where I said things were going to get a bit chunkier in terms of content and a bit of a task for you to do, making a proposal for a business on a digitalization strategy. So far, if you've been following all the videos up to now, we've covered organization types, stakeholders, business types, influential factors on businesses, the value of digitalization to businesses, and in this video, some motivations for businesses to move towards a digital transformation. This task is going to task you in putting all of that information together. So here's your scenario. Eco Essentials Emporium is a sustainable retail business that offers a wide range of eco-friendly products, including organic skincare, reusable household items, ethically sourced clothing, and zero-waste accessories. The store's committed to promoting environmental consciousness, ethical sourcing, and sustainable living practices. Eco Essentials Emporium aims to provide customers with high-quality, environmentally friendly products that align with their values and contribute to a greener planet. While Eco Essentials Emporium has established a loyal customer base of eco-conscious consumers through its physical store, the company recognizes the need to adapt to the digital age and reach a broader audience. And with the increasing demand for sustainable products and the growth of e-commerce platforms, Eco Essentials Emporium sees an opportunity to expand its reach, enhance customer engagement, and promotes its mission of sustainability through digital transformation. Now, that should be enough for you to get an idea of what things you might want to do for Eco Essentials Emporium. But if you're a Patreon member, then on your task sheet, there's more of a structure there with more information, and there are 5 key points that you could address in your proposal. Now, this task is designed to be a challenge, and it's going to take a while to complete, but it will stretch all of your learning and abilities so far. So use all the resources you have available to complete this. Use the previous videos, use the internet, use whatever books on hand that you've got, and really have a good go at creating a digital transformation strategy. Now, before you go off and get started on that, I think we'll wrap things up so that you can really concentrate on that proposal. So in this video, we've just taken a look at the motivations behind a business's move towards digitalization, and you're going to be producing that digitalization proposal. And once you've done that, or maybe just before you do that, you might want to have a go at an exam-style question. Here it is. Explain how virtualization and cloud computing can benefit a business. You've got 4 marks there, so we're looking for 4 ideas of how virtualization and cloud computing can be beneficial. So that brings us to the end of this video. You can go away and have a go at that digitalization proposal now. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you are, and you can look out for the next video on digital needs. And of course, if you're not on the Patreon yet, have a look over there. You can find that expanded task sheet with additional information and objectives in there to really have a good go at that proposal task. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.